Oh my goodness, what is happening? Hello. Yes, 10 people already here. Just waiting on me and I appreciate that. That's so cute. I'm happy to see you guys. What was I doing and what was the wait? Oh, I don't know. I just decided to curl tiny curls all over my head like I'm like Botticelli. I mean, listen, this is a quarantine time, honey, and we are filling the time. Just curling every part of my hair, just hair. Um, so my name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my channel where today I'll be doing a live reaction and recap of tonight's episode of Before the 90 Days. No, what's it called? 90 Day Fiance, Before the 90 Days, Season 4, or Episode 11. Can you believe it? What a journey this has been. And I'm just going to say this right now. This is probably, I don't know if you guys are having, by the way, chat issues. I cannot see my chat, so I will not be able to talk to you guys right now. I need this to really clear up. This has been a very depressing season of 90 Day Fiance. Two of the people didn't even meet their person. Two. Like, right now, the only real connection we have, because we know about Usman and like baby girl Lisa, is Jeffrey and Varia. And Varia, like, run, girl, run. Not to be like Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, but like, he's not for you, honey. He's not it. And we know this. So, I mean, yeah, there's like not a lot to hang our hat on of like any warmth or love or like feelings from these people in such a way. Like, some of the first seasons of 90 Day Fiance, like people were in love. And people were, fighting the good fight, and like there were like actual people that came together and weren't all just horrible, and we got to see like some true feelings occurring. I'm going to text Wall and be like, is my chat working? Because I cannot see you guys. So the way that I usually do this is that I go through the whole episode and then I like talk to you guys and stuff. And if you want to send a super chat, you're welcome to. But other than that, I can't really like usually don't engage just so I can get through this. And so if you're rewatching this when it's not live, it's not a complete nightmare. But unless my chat works, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But 47 people in this room already, and I really appreciate that. And just go ahead and turn the light and light on. Like and light. So just like come in the room, flip a switch, thumbs it up. Okay, so let's get into, this episode that was not as long as like the last episode, and thank God, because we have things to do. Just hair to curl. Okay, so Yolanda. Yolanda just refuses to acknowledge the fact that the audience is smart and like sees through her BS, which is that she came on this show just for the money, so she could write some sort of book about like losing weight or whatever, and wants us all to believe that she doesn't understand what a catfish is, and then her poor children are left like to try and dig her out of this one by like being like, this is what a Google image search is. They're so lazy as actors. They really don't like feel motivated, and neither does Yolanda. So they Google image search something of Williams, okay? And guess what? It's like a stock photo of like some hot Italian model. So then she's like, no, I don't believe it. No. Try another one. So like same thing. It's like comes up, it gets a bunch of hits. It's like, not him. And she's like, how about another photo? She's just like, I still think it's him. Maybe some people are like using his pictures to catfish. The daughter's just sitting there like, the son's wearing a primitive t-shirt, which is like, put that on your mom. Honey. And the daughter says, she's like, look, you're beautiful. You got yourself right and fit. Yolanda's like, yes, I did. I'm going to write a book about it, and I'm going to sell it to all these dumb people for stringing along on this story that's fake. So this really comes down to, I think, Yolanda's idea of Williams versus Williams. Williams is the real person. She can't acknowledge that Williams even exists. What she wants to hold on to is Williams with Y's instead of L's. And that's really her whole story boiled down with a smattering of like interesting eyeliner here and a little tiny pinch of good earrings there. I mean, that is what it is. I have spent maybe like every recap talking about what I think her accent is. And now I feel like it's some sort of like Southern. I feel like was her dad Southern and her mother was from Baltimore? Like someone has to really tell me. Um, okay, so I'm sorry, I'm like, my chat's not working and it's really annoying. What if I do if I refresh? Will I just lose you all guys? I'm really gonna, by the way, try and get no, I can't. Um one second. I'm gonna go to a router, get a new router tomorrow because like what is happening here? So if you're talking to me or if you're giving me super chats, I really appreciate this and I can do nothing about it for you. Except you just know that later on I'll look and I'll be like so overcome with appreciation and it'll be like really, really directed at you. Okay. So let's move on. Jeffrey and Varia. Okay, honey. So Jeffrey and Varia have spent the time camping with Igor, and Igor gave them one more gift, which is besides his charming personality, which was to tell them about a baña, which in Spanish means bathroom. Baño, baña. But it ends up being this like crazy ass steam room. It's like a sauna. No, I guess the word sauna. And then, but at the same time, you get some like branches, honey, from a tree and you just hit each other. Just hit them. Just hit each other. Now, here's the thing. A lot of recappers are going to be like, ooh, Jeffrey's like favorite thing to do, like abuse women, you know? And I get that. I don't, I just saw that and like knew those jokes are going to be made and was just like, I don't know what to do. He's at his angel best right now, you know? He's just like, even putting up with the camping, like he hates sleeping outdoors. He hates sleeping without like a down comforter and a down pillow top. Which, by the way, I get that. Like you know, and he had to like be subjected to Varia's sunlight piercing futon room, and he's now braved the camping sitch, and now they're just like sweating it out, half naked in the sauna with weird ass hats on. It looked like hats you would make for your Barbie. I mean, it was just like it must have been like the largest sock they just cut and put on their heads. And listen, does Jeffrey have a good butt? Yes. They made us look at them, and so I have to comment. It's my job. And she was slapping that butt with that eucalyptus branch. And I could only think that that probably would be the highlight of their whole relationship. But what ends up happening is they just like get their sweat on and then just like go run out and jump into a lake. And the lake is like dirty Russian water, as Vanya would say. And who knows what kind of microbes are in it, but this was the folly before coronavirus. Like that seemed okay. I don't think I'll ever get over Vanya's purple eyelash extensions. It's like it's not something that I can do. It's like not in my DNA to like never not look at them and just like wonder like why that choice was made by her. But I think that she makes some interesting choices color all around. Like Was says this too, which is yeah, like I would love to see like a natural like caramely brown hair on her that isn't so like black, you know, and like stark to her peaches and cream complexion. And this is all a moot point because really what I would like to do is be like, girl, run. He has such a record. You have no idea. It's nothing good for you. There's no goodness that can come from this man who just like wants to tell you about his 2-year stint for drugs, but like fails to mention the barrage of other accusations against him from multiple women. If you think that you are somewhat relaxed from this sauna, much more interesting sauna that we call banya, it's not true. Go back to your mom in Siberia. I know that it's not as fun there with your construction playground, but she'll make you yummy food. She won't hit you. Your brother's not going to sell drugs to you or ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, But as women, we like the bad boys, am I right? A little sense of adventure. Even though he tries and act all like angelic with his like really good skin, like Fraxel lasered IPL skin. Um, I mean, she falls for it. She's like, "You dazzle me." I'd be like, "Yeah, girl, but it's fake. It's like Razzle Dazzle from Chicago, you know, like Razzle Dazzle's all about a song about a lawyer who just like puts on a big show and like gets his client off for murder." That's my first connotation of the word like dazzle, which is it's fake, run. But you know, okay, let's get into Ash and Avery. And we are coming off of Ash's Ash's dating seminar where he just stole the TED talk of some YouTube comedian, but like took out all of the humor and then just tried to like talk all these women into buying coaching sessions with him with primitive 1950s esque philosophies, which I, by the way, how do I say this? A lot of what he's saying made no sense. Like, for instance, masculine and feminine energy doesn't really have a lot to do with gender nowadays because who here, like, raise your hand if you know a masculine woman and if you know a feminine man? I do. I do. And as we know, people feel like either he or she, and they'll tell you, or they, you know, like it's, and there is the spectrum of feminine or masculine energy on that. So what he's essentially doing is denying the existence of like these people. However, yeah, like back in the day, and certain people, like, you know, traditional loving people, which I would say I am, still enjoy, I guess, the assigned gender that I have, and then it's like accompanying energy. I feel like I'm a feminine woman. Again, I spent 2 hours curling individual pieces of my hair. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, every part of what he's saying is not completely asinine. It's his delivery and some parts of what he's saying, because he's denying the existence of like people we all know. You know, gay people that are like, you know, gay people that are, you know, okay, let me say it this way. You know, lesbians who are extremely femme, and you know, lesbians that are butch. And I know gay men that are extremely femme, and I know gay men that are like pretty mask, like a mask chill bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like sexuality. I know straight men that are feminine. I know some straight women that are masculine. That's fine. That's the way they choose to live their lives. Now, it doesn't mean that I personally want an effeminate man. So it's like, if he feels the way he does about wanting like a feminine woman, that totally makes sense. I totally get it. You can't just preach it as like an end all be all. That's your experience. And it makes no sense that someone who like is taking money from someone else and claims to be an expert about that would only be knowledgeable of his one minuscule, small-minded experience. So, I mean, we can talk about this all day long, and believe me, I want to. And having said that, like, you know, I think that the duality of like a person's nature is like showing quote unquote qualities of both. The minute Ash has this TED talk of gender and sexuality and energies, he says a bunch of crazy things, right? Or men are more logical, is what he says. And then he proceeds to be like incredibly illogical the whole time afterward. The aftermath is like illogic. And he gets very emotional, which I feel like in Ash's mind is a quote unquote feminine quality. He's like a crazy hypocrite and contradictory. Okay, I'm gonna go into it. So this is where we are with them, right? Avery is like, what the hell have I been doing for 9 fucking months? And again, like, was I stoned for 8 of those months? And is that why I did not pick up on any of this? And she's just like, I left my kid and that other kid we don't talk about. And like, why am I here? Even though it looks like beautiful weather. And oh my God, can you imagine being in Australia? Sure. So they're fighting, I guess, or whatever. And he just is like so pissed. He's like sometimes trying to like acquiesce because he knows that he was like dumb in this seminar and he know he didn't do it right. But then he also like tries to throw it in her face like she's not being supportive of him, as well as like is being patronizing or it's just like you can't just be like, this is what I feel. I did not express it right. If you don't believe in what I feel and what I like build my business on doing, which is talking about this BS to horny ass old single women who like pay me to see my bug eyes and have me text them back, ship up, go home. But right, he's throwing it in her face and he's like asking her questions like, don't I make you feel secure? And I think he's like trying to come from it like, am I not being a proper man? Am I not making you feel secure? And I'd be like, no, you're not. You haven't been you have not been authentic to her 1 second. She feels so insecure with even knowing who you possibly are. That's why she keeps asking these questions. Like, what do you feel? Who the fuck are you? Because you are like insecure, because you aren't real, because like you hide every weird thing about you until this moment where you couldn't hide anything and all you can do is stutter and and just and all the other barrage of like telltale lying signs. I mean, I think he's a sociopath, but yeah, we are really seeing them come undone, specifically him. I mean, he's like a different person than when we first met him. The veil has been lifted, the mask is off, even though his face is still there. And he's just like, it's kind of like the moment of Wizard of Oz, where like this whole time we're like, we have to like meet the wizard. Like, who is this wizard? Like this wizard, like, I mean, paints a portrait of being like everything and the one. And then you get there and it's just this measly old worm man pretending to be this big and powerful god. I mean, my God, she's good with metaphors. I'm kind of like the Lil Wayne of recaps. You're welcome. He tries to hug her for no reason. She's like, "Don't touch me right now. Like, read a goddamn sign." Yeah, and then they just go back. They fight more. They're like fighting and fighting and fighting. He's just being emotionally irrational, like as he would say, a woman. That's what's also just like hilarious about this. Like, she's like the one that's like calm. She's angry. She's frustrated. She's weirded out, but she's not screaming at him. She's like watching him. It's like, yeah, another metaphor would be like watch. It's like he's been trying to slither around like a snail, and she watched him get a little salt thrown on him, and honey, he's dying. He's turning green. What happens when you put salt on a snail? Remember that? Was it sugar? Mm. I did that once and felt immediately bad afterwards. I was much younger then. If you put salt on snails, is that another sign of like you'll grow up to be a sociopath or like a psychopath because you like quote unquote kill animals? This is the work. This is the most annoying chat for me that I can't just like look at you guys and like see what you're talking about. But people are texting me that you guys are chatting amongst yourselves, which makes me happy, which makes mother happy. I'm mommy. Okay, so David. Okay, he gets picked up from the airport from his friend, and his like I don't know how he has so many friends, honey. It feels like who could you possibly like have charmed into like spending time with you? You couldn't even like pay some woman from a different country to like even meet you from the 4 times in which you tried to. Okay, that's me, but true. And him and his friend are like in a car, and he was like, "Well, it was a trip of that went up and down and up and down and up and down." And I want to be like, David, what was like one up of this trip? The time she didn't meet you at the airport. The time you went to the train station to meet her and you couldn't find the train, and then hours later you realized that, like, she stood you up there. The time you bought the flowers. The time you went to the restaurant and then she stood you up. The time you tried to go to her apartment and she wasn't there. The candy shop? I have to assume the candy shop isn't up for him. It wasn't up for us. Maybe it wasn't up for him because he got to talk to one other female while in the Ukraine and, like, hear that accent he has such a fetish for. The trip was up and down and up and down. That was the worst trip of my life. You know how much money he spent on that trip? You know how many unicycles he could have bought with the money he used on that trip? You know how many toupees? Oh my god, honey. Side note is Khloe Kardashian, like, whatever, I hate myself for saying this, but, like, tweeted a picture of her, like, quote unquote extension closet. He could have a Khloe Kardashian fake hair closet with the amount of money that he used on that trip. So his friend is like, okay. And he's like, well, you're back now. And he's like, yeah, but I just need some closure. I mean, side note is, do you see him when he, like, went home? He, like, grabbed his cat, and his cat was like, "Oh my god, you're back? Ugh, I thought I was free." Anyway, God bless. This is mean, but, like, come on. And he's like, "Yeah, I need closure. I need to, like, just find out, like, what the situation is." And the guy's like, "Y- You should just let it go, dude. Like, let it Frozen and Frozen 2 go. Let it go. Come on." He's like, "No, no, 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 I'm gonna hire a private investigator and find out what happened." I mean, after all of this, maybe she was just too shy to meet me. If you were talking to someone for 7 years without meeting them in a quote unquote relationship, 7 years, and getting all of this money from someone, and then he tried to meet you, like, previously 4 other fucking times and bought you a cruise ticket, and then he comes to your house or your country, your crazy ass random country away from him, whatever, God bless, for the second time, and then tries to meet you in that session 4 other times. That would be I mean, like, you'd be like, "Oh, that person's a hermit. What are you talking about? That's not a shot. That's not, like, quote unquote shy. That's not, like, bashful, like one of Snow White's dwarfs. Honey, that person, like, has a crazy personality disorder." But no, David does. Like, for the fact that he's just, like, refuses to believe he is the Yolanda in a toupee of, like, knock knock. Is anyone there? What? Why? What do you mean she's shy? Ugh, but he hires a private investigator and he gets his friend Victoria, the one that, like, tried to warn him before he went that, like, women in her country do this kind of thing, God bless, and that it's probably not real, to translate from the private investigator that he hired. She gets on the phone and that man starts talking and he's like, bada boo boop blops. And I wish they were, like, giving us subtitles to what he was saying to her. I feel like that was, like, low budge on TLC's part. Like, come on. But then and, like, that's another reason why I was like, is it that she's also kind of lying? Like, TLC, why aren't you giving us the subtitles? Whatever. But then she tells him, David, that, like, yeah, Lana's not real, honey. She has multiple accounts. She has, like, the same picture with different fucking names, which is bananas. And he's like, no, that's fake. And she's like, no, it's not. Like, this person's talking that you hired. I didn't hire this person. I don't know this person. I didn't go to school with this person, honey. I don't know this person. You brought me here. You hired him. I'm talking to him and telling you what he's saying. The guy's just going a mile a minute or whatever. And, like, David acts as if he's being sat down for an intervention and everyone's, like, ganging up on him. And it's like, you hired this private eye. Like, what did you hire this private eye for? Like, did he think the private eye was going to just, like, be like, you were right all along. Here is Lana, and she was, like, gonna, like, bust out from, like, the cat's litter box. I don't even know what to say. It was shocking. I mean, at this point, absolutely Yolanda and David should be together because there's no other people on God's green earth that is as dumb and as suited for each other. Do you think that Yolanda can ride a unicycle? I really need you to like tell me in my comments. I'm gonna read later if you think Yolanda can ride a unicycle. I think she can, honey. I think that she's been working out a lot. I think that she like has probably amazing balance. I bet she can. And I bet she'd have a little fun on that unicycle. Plus, I think she has to get out of that house with all those kids. Like those kids have to all like fend for themselves now. And Yolanda has to live in that van now, honey. They're both in Vegas. They can all go to dinner at Colty and Debbie's house. Maybe David should marry Colty's mom. Then they can have cat parties together and dress up their cats. Ugh. You know what I hate about it is like he'd be like, Debbie isn't good enough for me. I'm David with this toupee. I deserve a 20-year-old model, Instagram model. Ugh, man. He keeps saying like I didn't have a relationship with I can't even talk. I didn't have a relationship with someone that didn't exist. She's real. Why do you think that? It's like Survivor. It's like it's like PTSD. Like he doesn't want to admit that he's been a victim. That for 7 years that he talked to like a computer, a dude, an older woman, multiple computer dudes and older women, all hiding behind a chat box. You never saw her. Who on God's green earth would be in love with someone that won't even give them their contact information? No Instagram handle, no Friendster, honey, nothing. No WhatsApp. You know everyone's on WhatsApp. That's the biggest thing you know is everyone's on WhatsApp. And it's free messaging. There is literally no reason. No one pays anything. If there's an internet connection, you are talking to them. What did he think that like I mean, did Lana say like I would get in trouble by the site if I tried to talk to anyone else? I mean, like what do they like are they the mob that will put hit outs on our family? Like what was the reasoning? Okay. Also, side note, one more time before I leave, David is like Victoria can stay, honey, with her whole ensemble. I just love the idea of her knowing that she's filming this, and she's just like, "What am I going to put on for this scene?" And it's just like Carol Baskin before we know Carol Baskin. She's in full Carol Baskin, but like she doesn't even know that. And the lipstick and the hair. And also, do you think that because we know David has a fetish for like Rocky and Bullwinkle-esque accents, do you think that like every time he hears Victoria, he sleeps secretly like pitches a tent? He's a little bit like, but he gets so mad at her too. Is that sexual frustration? Okay. Darcy and Tom. Okay. So we see Darcy. Darcy like put on all the hair and makeup and extensions and fake eyelashes on to come down to her dining room table and decide to address a manila envelope with a bunch of forever stamps. And she writes out Tom's address, which is like, do you know Tom's address? Like you stayed at the Airbnb. Like, is this Tom's sister's house? Like, what address do you know? Okay. And she decides to mail him back the key that he gave her that opens nothing but her coffin. No, I'm just kidding. That opens nothing. It's a key to nothing. Like, take this. I feel like it's such a thirsty move. Like, if you really over someone, you're like, I'd burn it. I'd be like, burn everything, honey. If I'm like over you, you're dead to me. Like, I'll burn it, and hopefully, like, some witch's spell will like go on you and be cursed to you. I would not waste. How much is a forever stamp now? 60 cents? She spent at least $3 on that. I want to give him $3 and mail back some dumb key he got from like Hallmark or oh man, Brighton. Like he bought that key from Brighton. That shop that's in some malls and in some airports? Brighton Remembered, All Things Remembered. Oh, I'm thinking of two shops. There's Brighton and All Things Remembered. All Things Remembered, I think, is like they engrave shit, and Brighton is just like things your older aunt would love. Bedazzled purses, like a frame with like an angel on top. You know, if you like Brighton, God bless you. Okay, so we get to Tom, honey, and Tom reminds me of me in the scene because what he does is he like goes to like some restaurant and orders like white wine and like puts it so like sets up his like phone like he's going to like pose and have like a video chat. Just like I don't trust men who drink white wine. I just don't trust them. I don't really trust men with cats. I shouldn't say I don't trust them. I do trust them actually. I do trust them. That's not the word. They're not for me. That's what I want to say. Men with cats and men who drink white wine, not for me. Great for other people. But I think he needed to be drinking like a scotch or like a whiskey or something neat and dry and in like a small, like a yellow liquid in a cup and a tumbler with maybe one of those like super hip one big block ice cubes, the square ones. Okay, so he calls his girlfriend honey and he video chats with his girlfriend. And I feel like they want to be famous together because of how much they Instagram together. And I feel like she's so happy that she just gets to have like this cameo on the show. But he like talks to her and he's like, you know, I went and I saw Darcy, and like we're supposed to now realize that like he's been very open to this woman about Darcy, this woman he just met 3 weeks ago. But is he like open to his quote unquote girlfriend that came and like visited him already in England? No, he like lied to Darcy about her complete existence. So she's like, oh, how how was that? And he's like, horrible, just horrible. I never want to see her again. And she's like, but did you have any feelings when you saw her? And he's like, no, she was dead. I wouldn't care. It's just all about you now, you. In fact, since I'm on this side of the Atlantic, can I come up and visit you? And she's like, great. That sounds lovely. And he's like, cool, cool. I'll be there in a couple of days. She's like, maybe I'll even pick you up from the airport. And he's like, oh, great. And then I'll take you out to dinner someplace nice. What do you guys think of this one? I feel like he's paying her. She looks like Darcy if Darcy was taller and didn't drink as much. Older, fake everything, fake lips. I can't tell because I hate men if like he likes women significantly older than him or they're just like these women are what like 10 years older than him or like 15. I wonder like what he has such a very interesting type. Like even his like brown-haired one, remember that girl that was like back in London or whatever, like he loves fake lips. He loves them. Like no thin lips for this one, honey. He likes them plump. He likes Tempur-Pedic lips. Just like when you kiss them, the mold of your lips like stay for a second and they pop back. He admits that he should have told Darcy. That's it. He just wants to be so refined with his white wine and his video chat. Like, and the minute he opens, by the way, this video chat to call his girlfriend, he just like, yeah, I said this already, but like he poses. He's just like, hello. Oh, he's so funny. What a weird one. How does she keep getting these guys? Like the Jesse and the Toms. They are in love with themselves and fame hungry. Those are like the things they have in common. Thirsty ass. narcissists that all hate her. Those are the three things that they all have in common. She has quite a type, and whatever. Okay, so let's move on to Lisa and Usman. So they've been fighting, right? And the fight is over powers, over control fight. Like he is like, I am a Nigerian man, honey, and in Nigeria, the men wear the pants. And she's like, in America, I wear the pants. They're from Lane Bryant, size 20. You know. And he's like, so this is the thing, like she gets up and runs away, like as if she's done with him, which is like, where are you gonna go, honey? Like you're in Nigeria. Like what do you, I mean, you like literally were like mad when he left for like 30 minutes to say goodbye to his friend when you were in a hotel room, like you're just gonna walk off in Nigeria. Is that it? That's it for you? Like you're gonna pretend that like where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? You can't talk to anyone. You won't even like count your own change from your Michael Kors bag without him. Anyway, so then he has to chase her. So it works. And he's just like, I'm just so afraid that this love is not going to be enough. This love. And I was just like, over your career. You don't love her. We don't love you. The love you have for Soja Boy's music, Soja Boy's destiny. Do you think he knows there's a Soja Boy? Okay, he's Soja Boy, but do you think that he knows there's a Soja Boy? Yeah, right? He has to. Do you think that he like heard Soulja Boy and was just like, I love that name. If only I'll just take out the L. Did we actually find out, is Soja a word in Nigerian that we just don't know? Maybe that is what it is. What does Soja mean? It reminds me of that like fake vodka that you sometimes drink when you're at soju, when you're at like Asian restaurants. It's not fake, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like vodka. It's like a rice vodka or rice wine. Okay, I'm not quite sure. But it's like a rice wine that you can kind of pretend is a liquor. So when you don't have a liquor license, that's how they get you. You get soju. Um, so they make a final decision that like the way they can get around this of her being an American wife and him being a Hausa husband is that they'll do 60-40 in his favor. He gets to be right 60% of the time. If that'll work, that seems like something real easy to follow. They're both happy again for a second. Every time that she gets mad and he wants her to be happy, he's like, "Okay, smile," and she's like, and they're all okay for the next 2 hours. So, honey, she is going to leave his hometown, and she very much is like, "I'm tired of it. I hate this place." He's like, "My hometown where I was born with all of my friends and family." She's like, "Yeah." I mean, like, yeah, your siblings were okay, and I guess your mom ended up being somewhat fine at the end, but yeah, I hate this place. I was disappointed the whole time. What the hell is this place? It did not impress me at all. It must take a lot to impress baby girl Lisa, Doctor Baby Girl Lisa. Is she like, what is she like? She's used to the Ritz, honey. It's Four Seasons for her. Like, what impresses her, honey? So they're going to go to a marriage registry to like find out the information needed because they have to get married in 3 days before she leaves. And they walk into this government building, and it's a little throwback. It's a little, she calls it like 1950s esque, and yeah, it looks that way. Yeah. And they sit down and talk to some dude, and the dude's like, so basically, we put up a sign that you guys are gonna get married, and that it's just like this person's gonna marry this person. That way, if you guys have any like husbands and wives the other one doesn't know about, they have their chance to be like, no, there's me. And like Usman isn't married, which I guess whatever. Okay, and Lisa has been married before, so the dude's like, "Ooh, you got your divorce? I don't know, decree or whatever," and she's like, "No." And it's like all about how She wanted Usman to go to the place before she got there and find out all the things that she needed so she could come correct. And she's blaming him and blaming him like, I told you 6 months ago, then I told you 5 months ago, I told you 4 months ago, and you said everything's chill. I told you 3 months that she like is going to lie. Like, I called you 24 hours before I left. And it's like, bitch, why don't you just go on the internet and find out what you needed? Why is it all on him? You could have found out what you needed. Just find out what you need. Why does someone else do everything for you? Why does he have to like fish into your Michael Kors? He's like happy about that part. He's like, I'll put the change in my back pocket. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so she doesn't have her like divorce paper. Listen, I don't know about this kind of shit. I've never been divorced, never been married. So I don't know like if it's common knowledge that you need to prove that your divorce is done or you have been divorced or whatever. But then she also makes it seem like it's near impossible that they can get a copy of it. Like you might be in an office that resembles 1950s, but we are still in 2020. Like there are like this person can receive emails. You can have someone go and just scan whatever you need or email whatever you need and get it to you. But we're supposed to like believe this is a crucial storyline part, like about how this might put a damper on their wedding plans. And it's like, oh, will it happen? It's like everything is, dire straits, honey, from like the mom's blessing to this BS. Also gives us another like argument between Lisa and Usman, where she's just yelling at him the whole time about things that he, doesn't have to do or want to do for her. And it like this just comes right after Lisa being like, his mom doesn't want to give us her blessing because she thinks that he's just going to go to America and become my slave. Lisa, if you don't get married this trip, it's because you don't have your paperwork. You don't have yours. He wasn't married before. He has his shit. You don't have yours, And you can easily get it. So like don't waste our times. I didn't know the rules. He was supposed to tell me what I need to bring. I also love the fact that like the minute that this guy like tells them like they need that, she growls in such a way, it just reminds me of like a dog who has like something in its mouth and you're trying to grab it away and he's like, you're like, okay, just keep that wet sock. Do you? Okay. Moving on, honey, to Steph and Erica. Stephanie, who I'm so jealous of because she has so many YouTube subscribers, and take this moment to like subscribe to me if you haven't already and like this video. I can't wait to hear and read all your comments about my hair. And I really hope you're giving me them because again, I spent so much goddamn time curling all of these strands of my hair. Tomorrow I think it's gonna look really cute. Today it's like a little tight. So here's one good thing about Stephanie, besides the fact that like I think that she's fake too. Is that she's like, we're gonna go meet Erica's parents, and I got Erica's parents a gift because I was raised with class. And all these Americans always come to people's houses with not nary a gift, except for Lisa, who bought a goat, only after we had to tell her to buy the goat. But Erica came with a gift. Now, is the gift like straight up from the Body Shop or Bath and Body Works, like a candle set with like soap and bath gel? Yes. But I mean, at least it's something. I just feel like you just land. I mean, like, yeah, you just land wherever you are, stop and get some beautiful flowers, not roadside highway flowers, but just like a beautiful bouquet. No one gives flowers anymore. I love flowers. I bought 2 downstairs, like 2 springtime bouquets. I love stargazers. I think they smell really good. So are gardenias and plumerias, and I like a smelly flower. Snapdragons are really, really good. Freesia, I mean, come on, let's talk about it. Freesia reminds me of going back to Bath and Body Works candles, but that's fine. That's neither here nor there. It isn't that red apple scent. You know what I'm talking about. Oof. Anyway, so they get there, and the whole thing is like Erica's going to come out to her parents, right? She's going to be like, So yeah, my girl Stephanie's here, and I'm using the word my girl because we bone, and like that's who I am. And they meet, so she meets their parents, and like no, sorry, Erica's parents are lovely. For as annoying and nightmarish and depressing the season has been, some of these side characters have been really, really good because Igor was lovely, warm, gregarious, great, and like Erica's parents are the best. If this whole season has been like a series of ups and downs and a lot more downs, it's one of the few ups, stealing from David's Ukraine journey. So they meet the parents, and her dad is just like dumb, but cracking like dad dumb jokes. And like the mom is just like super cute. They're making Chinese food, which was a choice. I was like, are these white Australian people going to make some Chinese food? Like, so interesting to me. So, but they do. It looked like some like kung pao, maybe some beef, and like yeah, they said they had fried rice. I tried to look and like decipher what that food looked like. But yeah, so they have to come out, and I was just like, wouldn't it be funny if, because Erica knew that they were serving Chinese food before they went, if they like had brought some fortune cookies at the end of the meal and was like, okay, now that we're done, like here's a fortune cookie for everyone, and their parents just open the fortune cookie and it's like, I'm bye. You just get to read it. It'd be awkward because, as you all know, every time you open a fortune cookie, you have to add the in bed part at the end. So then they would just have to read, I'm bisexual in bed, which was like a little redundant. Like, oh, ops, if you're bisexual, you're probably bisexual also in bed. But yeah, she ends up telling her parents, and her parents have like the best reaction. The dad's just like, cool, cool. Do you want some fried rice? And then the mom's like, oh, honey, I knew. Moms know. The reason why her mom knows, she says, is because like Erica had a very like colorful personality, and so she thought that something might be there, and the something there was being bi. It was like, expand on that. The dad had no idea at all. He was like, you did? I didn't. Was just been working on these jokes, It's been very distracting. All these dad humors. I mean, yeah, like if I had any feeling left in me from being in quarantine for 6 weeks or ever how long many weeks, I would have cried a little bit. I wanted to cry a tiny bit, but I didn't really want to cry because like I really hate them. Stephanie mostly. So it's like it's really hard to penetrate, like what is a you know, rough and ice-like interior that I have every time their segment comes up. But this was like very sweet. It's like always a joy when you have like parents who accept their gay kids. Like, remember when the Glee kid came out to his dad, who was like this like real mask guy? I remember crying for 3 weeks after that episode. So funny. I used to like Glee so much and was like so into it, like maybe the first and second season, and just stopped watching as if it never meant anything to me at all. So yeah, not much to know about there. That's just is what happens. And I guess the whole thing is like Stephanie has to come out to her mom, and it's not going to be as nice. It's not going to be as chill or cool. Okay. Is this the last cups? Oh my God. Last cups. Ed and Rosemary. You guys. Here we are. Rosemary ends up saying some things that it's like she had me in her ear. It feels like Rosemary might have watched my last week's recap going into this episode, which I know didn't happen because that's not how time works. I understand that. But she really gave me life. And I hope she gave us all life because she okay, let's just get into it and then I'll talk about it. So they're going to go for a little swim. And guess what? Ed doesn't want to swim in the ocean, in this beautiful blue ocean, because he'll get sand. And that'll disturb his eczema. So they're going to go in the pool. God. And then, them in the pool, honey, and I don't know why TLC decided to, like, do an underwater camera. Like, sometimes when TLC decides to spend money on things, I'm like, "Oh, okay. That's what they wanted to do." Like, a lot of shots of them in and out of the water, and when you're in the water sorry, like, when you're underwater, it's a lot of shot of Ed I didn't need underwater. And they're, like, playing, and they get out, honey, and then it starts off as being, like, cool. She's like, "This is such a beautiful view," and he's like, "You're my beautiful view," and then she's like, "Ha, ha, ha," and he's like, "I need to talk," and she's like, "Huh." Rosemary, when she doesn't wanna, like she knows that some bullshit's coming her way, will just be like, "Huh, I can't even do it right. I gotta, like, rewatch this. Huh? Huh. Huh." I can't do it, you guys. But he's just basically like, "You know, last night when you told me that you want 2 kids, well, I already made up 2 appointments back in America for a vasectomy." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm gonna snip so you can't get pregnant." And she's like, "Why the hell do you not tell me this? You've been knowing I want 2 kids." And he's like, "Oh, because I wanted to make sure that, we were complementary and that, we were compatible." And she's like, "We're not, because I want kids and you don't." You know what I'm saying? That's like a fundamental thing. I don't want it to, I mean, like, that's like, I mean, okay, that's like being like someone being like, "Yeah, I want to get married and be in a monogamous relationship." And the guy being like, not saying anything. And then weeks go by and he goes and visits her and he's like, "I want to be in a polyamorous one." And they're like, "Well, why didn't you just say that? You wasted my time." He's like, "Because I want to see if we're compatible." And it's like, "No, you were never compatible." I mean, like, no, because you're not. Because this is something fundamentally that she wants. That's like her future. It's a huge part of your life. It's how you live your life. Having children is how you live, is like a choice that like changes everything. It's an everyday thing. I mean, it affects your everyday goddamn life. And not having children affects your everyday life. So if you are incongruent, if those two things are not the same, you're in fact not compatible. Just like you want to have an open marriage and you want to have a closed marriage, fundamental problems. If you want to like live a very religious lifestyle and raise your kids in a certain religion and the other person doesn't, not compatible. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is it. You already knew you weren't compatible. Why are you wasting this girl's time? And then freaking Rosemary finally gets in. She's just like, let me get there. So, 2 kids is her dream. She's always said that. She says she's very, very, very sad. And he like tries to pull this thing like, "I'm not a rich man. I can only afford you and your son. I only have enough love and money for you and your son." I'm gonna be like, "And you don't even have enough neck for you, honey. You make that work. You don't have enough neck for anyone. You're still bobbing around." She's like, "I can't believe you goddamn did this to me. You lied about your kid." Oh no, wait. So this is what happened. So after this, sorry, I forgot about this part. Oh, I didn't read this part, whatever. So she's really upset, and then like he goes to bed, and then like he wakes up and she's like not there, right? And he's like, "I don't know where she is. She's not answering her phone." I like will walk around the resort. And I want to be like, at first we're like, "Oh, did she just leave?" Like they want us to think that she just got up in the middle of the night and left. But like also low key, like he didn't say that her bags weren't there. So I assume her bags were there. So then she just like comes up from walking. She's been walking, like woke up super early. She's wearing a great dress. And he's like, "Where were you?" She's like, "I had to think without you." And she's like, "You lied about if you everything. You lied about everything. And then when you weren't lying, you were trying to embarrass me. You lied about your height. You lied about whether you wanted kids. You embarrassed me with this STD test. You embarrassed me with mouthwash about my ulcer. You you embarrassed me about my sister, or you think that I'm like wanting your money. That's embarrassing. Like you are shit on a goddamn stick. And he can just sit there and gulp. You're trash. Why does Ed think that he deserves, I mean, anyone, but like a young ass hot woman? Why does he think like why does he just find someone else that's a little like less to look at like he is? Why do men think they deserve someone more attractive than they do without giving anything? Anything. Respect, anything. Money, anything. Honesty, anything. Any compromise about lifestyles that woman wants. Why? Now, I should say men and women, maybe not. Could this kind of like, okay, let me see. Can I compare this to Lisa and Usman? Because Lisa is less attractive than Usman, obviously, older than him, sure. And she also won't budge on certain things. So maybe it is the same. Maybe I can say it's not just about men, but like, yeah, if you're older and really not cute and you get to be with someone who's younger and way cuter, you have to like give up some things because they're giving up things. They have to turn around and see you all the time. And you have mirrors, so you know what you look like. And they know what you look like. And they're sad about it. So what are you going to do to entice them to stay? Give them some things they want is the answer. And whatever they want, I'm not saying give it everything, but try and make the effort. So if Usman wants some control and wants to like be a man in his customary way, that's what you give him. That's what you give him. If Rosemary wants a little money to help her family, who are destitute, and wants to have kids, that's her biggest dream, and you want to be with her, give it to her. Especially if you know she wants it, don't waste her time. You've taken her away from her child now twice for this BS. When you knew the whole time you weren't going to give her something fundamental that she wants, just because you don't want more kids. He's gross. And Lisa's gross. It's just I think that Usman is a little like shady for things that he's like done and said afterward. But I mean, I think that they're roughly the same. They are. I have gone through the whole episode. I don't know what to say because I have not been able to see one chat from one person. I know there's 330 people in this room. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. If you've liked this video, go ahead and like it now. I'm gonna talk a little more, and also thank you so much if you've given me a super chat. I literally do not know. I'm so sorry. I wish I could just show you that it says unable to connect to chat. Please try again later and try again later. And I haven't been able to like try again. I don't know how to try again. I'm already doing this. I'm already streaming. So like get it together, YouTube. All I can do is promise you I'm supposed to wake up early tomorrow and go get a new modem and router. What an episode. Have you guys been watching What Now? Is What Now good? And I still have to watch Quarantine episode 2. I'm behind on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and New York. But if for any reason you want to look at some Arabic videos, she's been making those. She's been putting those out. Also, do you like this lip color? It's NARS Power Velvet Matte in Save the Queen. It's cute, right? I can't believe, yeah, I was so happy again. I'm just like, I was so happy for Rosemary that she said it. Like, you lied about everything. You just lied and embarrassed me this whole time. You're dumb and you're rude. And she like didn't even say like the stuff that's real, like what I said, how like you should be like literally bowing down before me and my hairy ass legs because you look crazy. You are hideous. No one would ever want you. So the fact that I gave up any of my time to be with you, to look at your face, the fact that you been inside me, the fact that we boned, I let you bone me with your minuscule peenie, your gross ass, dumb ass stubs. You're dumb. I don't know who the hell thinks that who's made you think that you're some sort of king, but you are nothing. And I want children. And I'm gonna get them. F you. Oh, why does it make me so mad? He makes me so angry. Yeah, he makes me so pissed. Just that a waste he like, I mean, to take her away from her son twice. All the things he's done to her, like, oh, will you shave your legs? That's not attractive to me. We get an STD test because I'm supposed to be super clean for no reason. And look at me. Do I look clean? No. I have the greasiest hair. Lying to her about his height, and then every goddamn 4 seconds being like, are you attracted to me? You're attracted to me, right? You're attracted to me? Tell me I'm hot. It's a real person that did that. We watched that this woman had to put up with. You have bad breath. It's so bad. I have an ulcer. Oh. It's not going to help her. Doesn't like try and get the ulcer fixed. Just like, you don't, I mean, like, just in case she needs some antibiotics or something, not going to even try and get her some antibiotics. Asking her dad over and over again if he likes what he does. Do you like living here? It's so embarrassing. Yeah, he is just. He seems like he's never looked in a mirror, honey. He seems like he's completely unaware of like how he comes off, how he sounds, and obviously how he looks. He seems to be like in a cloud of his own selfishness. He does not understand that other people are even in the vicinity. As if his own insecure Napoleon-esque fears consume him totally, that he can't even like see past the end of his nose. Right? God. It's really hard. It's really hard to watch. I really hate him. Like, I would like to think, I want to know what you guys like more. Like, do you guys like Lyda more than him? Or I feel like they're on the same. I remember hating Lyda this much, where I'm just like, I'm like, I'm gonna burn your whole down. I'm gonna burn you down. Okay. Yeah, I love you guys, and I so thank you for being here, and I really appreciate you, and I really enjoy your company, and I feel so weirded out that I cannot look at any of your chats. That part's so crazy and annoying. Not as annoying as Ed is. Nothing, like that is like to my bone. Really frustrating. But I love you guys so much. So I will do a recap. I'll say tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do it tomorrow. I'd like to try and do it tomorrow because I feel like this hair is going to like remain in some sort of effect, and maybe I'll try and use it tomorrow. Anyway, I'm just so thankful for you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking this. Thank you for thumbsing it up. You thumbs it up. You thumbs it up. Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Do, 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 do. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna say follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Chris L. Farah. I have a private Facebook group called Vanity Farah where someone just put a Darcy cameo up there. And honey, Darcy is extensionless. All her hair's gone. Her nails popping off. She claims this. She knows it. What she doesn't claim is that she's obviously drunk in it. And if you watch any other cameos from her in this time, she stays that way. She stays drunk. Okay, baby boos. I love you. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stand up for what you believe and make art. All right? Thank you. I love you. Okay, bye.